Welcome to the Bold Colts. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This is episode 5. We're coming to you with the quarterback draft prospects of 2020, some free agent positions of need,
Pow.
then the Colts free agents to bring back,
Shazam.
and of course the Pro Bowlers. So thanks for tuning in this week. We're going to show you, we're going to talk to you all about this stuff and get on with it. So,
Who are you, first off?
Well, I'm Ian. Thanks.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm Kendall.
I'm
And across
Jeremy.
from me, yeah,
All right.
Jer Bear. Live in person. But he's not live and in person.
We're live.
To me he is.
Yeah.
But to the fans,
I mean, they're missing.
we're just voices.
Hey, that's okay. We're great voices.
Hopefully you've been enjoying what we've been putting out there for you. Don't forget, check us out at Bold Colts for Twitter. Give us your questions, give us your feedback, and we'll love to bring it up here in some of our topics.
Definitely.
But, Jeremy, what are we talking about first?
Well, let's hit them with some quarterbacks. Everybody wants to know,
The
you
QB.
know, who we going after.
I mean, I think that's the most exciting prospect that we've got this year.
Most
Yeah,
important
Where
position.
we get to look at these new quarterbacks, and we've seen what's been coming out. We've seen what they're capable of doing.
No doubt.
So,
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So, let's talk about the top quarterback draft prospects in 2020. You know, it looks like the Colts, like to draft according to and build a team that way rather than dipping into the free agency. So, I believe that the Colts are
I
going to
think
draft.
that's smart when you're looking at quarterbacks.
Definitely. The most important need this offseason definitely is to upgrade that passing game. It all starts with the quarterback, and we're looking at it. There's a lot of prospects in this 2020 draft. You know, we're going to hit on some of them. There's some of them that we won't hit on today, but they are definitely going to be quarterbacks of the future to look out for in this new NFL period. So,
Yeah, we'll talk about other quarterbacks in the future, too. We'll get to them. But we're going to talk about a couple of our favorites today. And, you know, just to see who's out there, who's exciting, who we like, you know, who's surprised us so far with their senior year or last year in college, and which one of these guys we might think would be a good fit for us. And no doubt Chris
Yeah.
Ballard always likes to keep his cards close to the chest, like a poker match.
yeah.
You know, he never reveals his drafts. You know, a lot of his draft picks always say that they had no idea the Colts were interested in any of them. So it'll be interesting to see. You know, we know that Ballard's already visited a guy like Jordan Love at one of his games earlier this year.
That was really cool.
But how much do you take from that when this guy does poker, you know?
That's the thing.
All
Is
the
he
day
just
for those
showing
draft
you a
picks.
fake card?
I think he is.
I think
but
that's the
No.
kind of thing he's doing.
I mean, he doesn't go out there for no reason. So, quarterback is such a big position. I think Jordan Love is out there, and of course, we're talking about him when Chris Ballard visited him this season, and Jordan Love has a lot of good throws, a lot of good accuracy things to touch on. He also has some improvement to do. So there's a lot to like about him, and there's some things he needs to improve on, of course.
So what excites you about him?
To me, I like his first read accuracy. I like the way he throws the ball with quick release. I think he can throw the deep ball, and I think that all around he provides not only the aggression needed at quarterback where he can pick you apart with accuracy. He also provides the speed to get away from people in the pocket.
That's crucial.
Yeah, and it's huge, and that's what a lot of the young quarterbacks are doing nowadays. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Carson Wentz, they all provide this extra ability to scramble out of the pocket and at least pick up a few. And I think Jordan Love provides some of those same things. Jordan Love went to Utah State, so he had a lot of turnover with his coaches and the staff he was in. So the senior year, he didn't put up the
Junior year.
junior year, he didn't put up
Okay.
the best stats that he had put up since compared to his sophomore year, but there was a lot of turnover at coaching and also in talent wise around him. So
That's unfortunate
yeah, it was.
for him then.
It was, and it's hard to look at his game that way, and he's gonna get looked over. So that's why the Colts are prime spot for taking a guy like this because he really is gonna get looked over by everyone. There's a lot of top.
I was gonna say what
top
I mean.
school
What kind
prospects.
of what round draft pick is you think he's projected?
I think Jordan Love realistically in this draft is a second to fourth round draft pick. So
Second and fourth.
yeah, I think that he could go as high as second. If a team really needs a quarterback and is looking for a good backup and wants to take a chance with this guy, I mean, the thing is he's gonna get more eyes on him at the Senior Bowl and then eventually at the scouting combine. So it's gonna be cool to see how much teams really are intrigued by this guy because he is really an unknown name out there. There's a lot of big school guys like Joe Burrow, Tua, Justin Herbert from Oregon. These are Alabama and LSU guys, Oregon, Georgia, Jake Fromm. So these are the big school guys that are going to go in the top 10,
Right.
top 15. So Jordan Love is definitely more of a second round to fourth round in my eyes.
So do you? I mean, you don't think that we're gonna be looking at someone in the first round?
I think we're
Because
definitely
we'd be
looking
reaching
at, someone
at
in the
him.
first
We'd be
round.
reaching for
Yeah.
him if you put him at a 2 to
But
4,
but
and we'd take him in the
are
first.
you reaching for a guy that you know is going to start all year or half the year? Are you reaching on a guy that's going to be a crucial part of your franchise?
Well,
I mean,
That's what comes down to it.
that's
How
the
much
thing.
does
Are
he
you
love
gonna
him?
are you gonna use that first round draft pick, or are you gonna?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I don't let him fall. I don't
You
let
don't
him
go
fall.
with receiver
If
No.
you love
and
him,
then wait for your. I mean, you've got 3 picks in the top 45.
I mean, you could wait till the second round.
You could wait till your third pick.
You could if
and
you
still grab
if you
him.
want to be aggressive and do it this if you want to
And
do it
that's-
that way,
that's all
there's
in the-
nothing wrong
that's
with that.
that's all in the second round.
Right. No, you're right. You could get him in the end of the second round. You could get him in the beginning of the second round, probably. So there is some give and take with Jordan Love. That's the good thing about this guy is he's so unknown. You just don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If he's that unknown,
You're right.
then why not wait for that third round and then use those top 3 at something that's a little more crucial. If you know that he's
Right.
unknown and he can probably go in the third, fourth, maybe even fifth.
The only problem with that is that you're basing the fact on that you know for sure and the realistic chances. Like you're about 95% sure he's going to drop. But there's still that chance that he could be taken and there's still that chance that an oddball team will take him like the
Right.
Patriots.
Right.
The Patriots are always drafting quarterbacks, the
Chargers.
Chargers. There's a lot of teams out there that are going to be sneakily drafting quarterbacks in these second, third, fourth rounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is a very good thought, so I can see both sides of this definitely. I would just rather get him for sure.
Right.
Get your guy, let him start. You know, he's gonna be your guy then, and there's no chance of him going to another team later in the rounds. I mean,
Right.
I could see us going to a second round draft pick for him, but maybe not a first. But
Right. So, we're talking kind of about unknowns. Someone that's, kind of that sleeper agent, kind of flying under the radar.
yeah,
You guys were showing me someone earlier.
yeah. So
Let's talk about someone else that we like to see.
someone that no one else is talking about it that would be definitely available at our 13th
love
pick,
this guy.
and maybe we do take a day 2 shot at him on round in the second round, but I don't think Colts fans would be happy about waiting around for a quarterback. But this guy is surprisingly sneaky good.
What's his name?
So Anthony Gordon, he played at Washington State.
Washington State.
A lot of people might not have heard of him. They were ranked in the top 25 for a second with him. and he was actually Gardner Minshew's backup for 3 years, and he only played it 1 year, his senior year. One of my benchmarks I really like to look on if someone's a really good quarterback, or a special talent like Mahomes, or you know, you could throw Baker or Kyler Murray in that same conversation of if they throw 50 touchdowns. That's an all-time good year. And this guy got right in that benchmark. Threw 48 touchdowns his senior year. 5,579 yards.
How many?
He threw 48 touchdowns his senior year, and 5,579 yards.
5,579 yards.
Yeah, so that's a shit ton of yards. And he
Oh, yeah.
completed 71% of his passes. They threw a lot. He threw 16 interceptions, but I mean, from a guy who came in and this is his first college year playing, and he has a balling out year like that.
Yeah.
To me, you can't ignore that, and really be curious. He accepted a Senior Bowl invite as well, and I'll be really curious to watch him. And Chris Ballard loves that Senior Bowl. He loves seeing those prospects like that. That's where Ben Banigou, that's where Darius Leonard popped out of. So, this guy, in my eyes, could be one of those kind of prospects for us.
Yeah. So, I mean, a little comparison. The number one prospect, Joe Burrow of LSU.
Yeah.
So he, this year, had a 78% completion percentage.
All right, yeah.
Compared to the 71.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. He threw for 5,208 yards. So he threw for less.
Yeah.
But
Gordon
he had
threw for more.
55 touchdowns with 16 interceptions.
Oh, same amount of picks.
Same amount of picks. He had more touchdowns.
Right.
And that's with so much more talent.
Yeah.
That's with better coaching and so much more talent.
So
That's
really,
an
when
LSU
you
program.
look at those numbers, to me they're neck and neck.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah, he was second.
Why isn't Gordon up there?
Second
as the
in
second,
passing touchdowns,
right.
second
only
prospect.
to Joe Burrow.
He should be out there. People's scouts aren't doing their jobs.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting where he shows up, because this is a guy that I think could be, everybody wants to put Jordan Love right now in that kind of Colts love of like the next Patrick Mahomes, because he has some hype men. I think Des Bryant and some other people are kind of hyping him up, but this is a guy that impresses me more. He threw for 2,000 more yards than Love did, and like 20 more touchdowns. And he did it in 1 year.
25 more touchdowns.
And here's something. And this is some stupid superstition type deal, but I don't want to ride the name wave again. We've got luck on our side. Oh, just show some love. Like, well, I don't want that. No.
Love like that?
Love looks good. Love looks good. But Anthony Gordon looks better.
Anthony Gordon,
yeah. He's 6'3", by the way,
Hold
like
on.
220.
Yeah,
something.
he's 6'3", 210 in pounds. He was among the nation's leaders in most categories. He had a 600-yard game. He had 9 400-yard games. And he had 9 touchdown game. So let me repeat those. He had a 600-yard game.
For those that didn't
Damn.
hear.
And 9 400-yard games.
9 400-yard games.
This is all in 1 year. And he had a 9 touchdown game.
A 9 touchdown game.
Yeah. He went to the Cheez-It
Wait.
Bowl.
He scored 9 touchdowns
in 1 game.
In 1 game.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah, that's
probably
all
that
throwing?
prospect of.
Yeah.
That's all throwing. That's not rushing.
He doesn't run. That's the thing about this guy.
He
doesn't run.
So
He throws off weird
when
angles.
you think
though.
about
sidearm
past
passes.
quarterbacks for the Colts that have taken us to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl, are they mobile?
Never.
No, they never have been for the Colts.
Never.
Listen to this though. He went to the.
He fits the history.
Yeah, he does. He went to the Cheez-It Bowl too for his bowl game.
The Cheez-It Bowl.
Oh,
against
man.
against Air Force, and he threw for 351 yards, 3 scores, and no interceptions.
Are there any like dirty bowls?
They did lose the game, but
Like
Yeah, he had a great outing versus
that was his
In his
last game.
like
350
Adam
game.
and Eve Bowl.
351 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Adam and Eve Bowl. No.
There's no like sex toy bowl.
No,
There's definitely weird ones.
they're all usually just big branded bowl games. Besides the Rose Bowl, of course, which is original to college football, and
The
there's
Fleshlight
the
Bowl.
Cotton Bowl, and there's some other bowls out there, but
The Trojan Bowl.
they have like the Tostito Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl.
The Duralax Bowl.
The Duralax Bowl. Sponsored by.
Duralax.
The condom you don't want to find.
Right. So those are a couple quarterbacks that
Guaranteed
we
to bring pregnancy.
really like for the 13th pick overall, let alone the second round.
Yeah, you
Um,
could snag either of those guys in the first
Jordan
round.
Love, Anthony Gordon, Utah
if
State.
you wanna
Washington
guarantee it.
State.
If you want to
You can
guarantee
use
it.
one of your first round.
Right,
picks.
and I don't think anybody in the Colts would have a problem with that.
Here's
but
the guys. Here's the guys above him that I think could go. There's Joe Burrow, of course, from
get to
LSU.
more prospects.
There's Tua from Alabama. There's Justin Herbert from Oregon. All those 3 guys, let alone, are going to go in the top 10. Then there's Jake Fromm from Georgia, big school. Jacob Easton, which was his started, and then Jake Fromm took over in Georgia, and he transferred to Washington. He graduated, and he's a prospect for this 2020 draft. So there's some quarterbacks right there for
Some
you.
really interesting prospects
Yeah,
coming
there's-
into this 2020
There's
draft.
a lot of quarterbacks. Once you start doing your research, it's like, okay, there's the top
There's
3,
no shortage.
Joe
Yeah.
Burrow, Tua,
when
and
you-
Justin, but
I mean,
there's a lot more.
How many teams are actually, grabbing a quarterback in the first round?
Right, that'll be the question.
Yep, that's the Moneyball question right there.
And we'll go over that and dig into more quarterback prospects as, the combine and other things pop up.
Yeah, I
and
can't wait to see some of these guys' stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting to see
It'll be
how they
cool.
do.
Very cool. It'll be
Definitely.
very cool. Very exciting.
All right. With that, let's get into free agent positions in need.
Free agent positions in need.
Right. So where do you think we don't go the draft route and free agency starting first, of course, in March? Where do you think the Colts reach out to and positions especially? Where do we need some help?
Well, the 3 of us had a unanimous agreement that we should all go offensive heavy in those first 3. So
Of the
that
draft.
of the draft.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
being said, I think we go defense. And more specifically on the defense, I think we need to go to the line.
Hell yeah.
I think the line needs the most work at this point in time. And I think it's the inside. I think it's
Yeah.
stopping that run game.
Defensive tackle, defensive nose tackle. Yep, the 3 technique guy, the guy who's going to be in the trenches, stopping the run, and then mostly, just stuff in the middle of the run, and then also putting pressure on the quarterback.
Autry had a down year. He really came in last year and had a great year, like 9 sacks or some shit.
Yeah, he looked
And
great last year.
This year, I didn't notice him.
I don't think you have to write him off, though.
No.
I don't think that's worth it.
No, he's
It's
still under
interesting.
contract, but it is that dip in production
It was
was
huge.
huge
Yeah,
for
you
the
could feel
Colts
it.
defense.
Yeah.
Because no longer was there Hunt and Autry just breaking back there on some plays and really doing some good teamwork together. That is a great position that would be to hit on in free agency because, we have the most cap space out of any other team, and we got to start spending some of that on some good quality veterans
Yeah.
that can help this
We
team.
we have the money to
Yeah.
buy him.
Yeah,
We got
Let's-
the locker room. We built it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's time
We
to-
need to grab some names.
it's all in. I think
just to help out in those positions.
2020 is a big year for the Colts. It really is. It's how bad do you want this type of
Well, being the 4th year with Ballard,
are we gonna
third year with
rebuild?
Right.
right.
It's, is this rebuild working?
Yeah,
That's kind of this next year. It's our deciding factor.
right. I mean,
Maybe one more year after that. I mean, 5 years is
the
That's
rebuild.
a lot of years to just go meh. You know,
that's yeah, exactly.
But
If you can't progress any further, something's got to change in
It does.
in the offices,
Yeah.
in the personnel.
it's just natural that there's turnover,
Yeah.
and it'll be really interesting to see, you know, how much they want it, like we're talking about, and how all in and how much confidence they have in their locker room that they talk so highly about, and how much we can grow.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and Chris Ballard is such a likable guy. I mean, he's been nothing but great for the Colts so far. He's had nothing but the right mindset
right,
to
and he
get
had his
us
hands
in-
full.
yeah. I mean, he's cleaning up a big mess.
yeah, yeah. No, he's drafted already Pro Bowlers, All Pros.
Yeah.
Just with what he's done with this team, and the rebuild has been incredible. We went 7-9, so it's not you are who your record is, but on top of that though, we would have been a lot worse if we wouldn't have had Chris Ballard here to help draft some of those Pro Bowlers and All Pros, because where would we be without Quentin Nelson and Darius Leonard? We'd probably be bottom of the pack, like 1-15, 2-14.
It would be worse.
It would be
It would
so
be way
bad.
worse.
And even Jacoby Brissett was someone that Chris Ballard brought in. I mean, he had to turn over the whole team from the Grigson. So we all know how we felt about Grigson. Not that very kind-hearted, but about him. He was a good guy, but man, he did not draft a single Pro Bowler. So
No, and I mean, when it comes down to it, that's kind of the plaque on the wall
Right.
as proof
Yeah.
of your accomplishments
yeah,
and
Chris,
what you've done for
he
the
started
team.
from nothing. Chris Ballard started from
If
nothing.
you don't have the recognition, it's just another name on a roster.
We'll see what happens. What other positions do you guys like us going after in free agents? I think maybe we could.
Well, yeah, what do you? I mean,
I think we could hit wide receiver again.
wide receiver.
You know,
I
load
think it
that
needs-
chamber up,
I
put it
think-
to my head,
yeah.
and tell me we're getting a good one.
I'll agree.
We haven't had a good free agent wide receiver in I don't know how long. I can, name off so many failed experiments. But it'd be great to get one and cash it in for a productive season. I really like big targets. And I think
Okay.
maybe you go speed at wide receiver in the draft and you get a more developed big 50-50 target in free agency. Like Funchess. Maybe it's Funchess again, but
Right, which we can talk about
That's-
that in just
yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool to see what they go after, because really the defense and the offensive playmakers are really in need right now. So it's
High
gonna be
demand.
really cool to see who they go after, because really playmakers make the headlines, man. When you start drafting playmakers, it's gonna make the headlines. If we draft a new quarterback, draft
Yeah.
a new receiver, I mean, pick up a new receiver, pick up a defensive lineman. Those guys aren't cheap. Those are playmakers. So
and can't look at the teams in
that's
the
what
Super
we're
Bowl.
looking for.
Right.
Kansas City with all their weapons, and then you go across and look at the 49ers, and they might run it a lot, but their running backs have stupid speed, all of them, especially Mozart. And I think, he went up to
Coleman,
20 miles an
Mostert.
hour, over 20 miles an hour on one of his runs tonight, and it's just like you can see it, and they have a lot of weapons in that offense. We got to start
Most definitely.
getting on that level of things to complement TY.
Yeah, another interesting
We
position.
can't rely on just T.Y. Hilton.
Right. Another interesting position would be tight end in free agency. It would be a position that we know.
Well, with Doyle re-signed,
right,
he's locked in.
Doyle resigned,
Allie Cox back.
Ebron out. So that's the big thing, though, is Ebron's
We do-
out. So
I
we
mean-
do need to replace Ebron.
Because when he was full healthy last year,
Oh man, Ebron's
had the
legit.
hat trick.
I'm glad what he's
Had the
done
hat
for
trick.
the Colts in this short period, but man,
See,
kind of it's
it-
gonna be
It's sad to see him go.
it is though.
Sad to see his career with the Colts be so short-lived.
So short. It was Andrew or no Andrew. I mean, it was just not gonna work. So we'll move on, and we do need to. I think it'd be an interesting position to hit. I think there's gonna be at least a few good tight ends on the market. So defensive line, tight ends, and wide receiver will be interesting to see what they tap into.
let's talk about free agents to bring back that we have hitting the market. Of course, I think we can all agree that Anthony Costanzo, we all want back. We'll see what
Definitely.
happens with him, and keep updated on that.
Yeah, I don't think he would go anywhere.
Well, he's
But
gonna
you never know.
retire. He might retire. So we gotta wait to see if he's gonna retire or gonna re-sign with us.
Okay, I
And,
didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know,
Contemplating retirement,
That's very unfortunate.
and there's no
Isn't it?
timeline to find out. Of course, it'd rather not be a dragged out affair.
Well, Anthony, if you're listening, please at least one more year. Let us get one more year. Let us give you a Super Bowl, buddy.
I don't know if he'd be willing to do that, but if he's really contemplating it, he should give it one more year.
Yeah, if he's not for sure.
Because I know not having luck there was
Let's do
big,
it, buddy.
but you got to see where this team is before.
and it's one of the best
Give us
jobs
some
in the
recovery
world. So
time.
come on, man, come on back. But
Give it a shot. With
he
the
is
Colts.
he's gonna be a huge miss if he doesn't come back. I mean, we're gonna have to draft a left tackle
High.
and free agency. We're talking
One
about
of those
left
first
tackle.
345 picks
Yeah.
becomes a left tackle.
Right.
That's another thing.
Right.
We have our picks locked in based on what the standings are right now.
Right.
Come March, who
We'll
knows?
see.
And you
Yeah.
guys had
Who
quarterback.
knows where we're gonna.
You guys had quarterback, receiver, and running back. And I
Right.
had quarterback, receiver, and defensive tackle.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, let's bring up some other free agents that we can maybe re-sign. There's Funchess, who's
I
what do you
would
guys-
like to see him
Yeah.
re-signed since we didn't really get a chance to see him play.
right. Me too.
I think that let's give him another try.
I hope
Like-
he comes back too, because it is
Like
huge that
you don't
Andrew
have
Luck
anything
retired.
to base anything on. Like
I mean, we
Yeah.
paid him $10 million.
Yeah, but he shattered his collarbone and like.
No, I mean
So, yeah.
that should be an incentive. Like, come on back, bro.
Oh,
we're gonna,
yeah.
we're gonna pay you,
we'll pay you.
even if
Yeah. Well, and
it doesn't
I mean,
go to plan.
We'll pay you
is it-
$8 million.
Is
I
it a
mean, come
matter
on.
of us paying him to come back, or does
No.
he even want to come back?
Yeah.
That's the thing. He
it's a
thought Luck was
two-way
his
street.
quarterback. So, with all these receivers,
unfortunate.
And does
It's
he have the Eric
unfortunate.
Ebron effect where
Yeah.
it's damage from this retirement?
With Luck
that we're
gone,
still
I
fucking
mean,
dealing
the
with.
team was being built around Andrew Luck,
Yeah,
and when your quarterback disappears, and everyone that was riding on him,
right.
I
It's
mean,
crazy
You
the-
can't really be
We're
upset.
still feeling the
You can't really be upset.
repercussions and question marks from
Yeah.
players this year.
Well, my whole
I
feeling
think we
towards
feel it more now just because it's the end of the season,
Right.
and now we have to replace some of these people because
Yeah.
Luck's not here.
Yeah.
My whole feeling towards it is good riddance. If you were just here for Andrew, I mean, get out of our way and get off our team. But
Aggressive. I like that.
I hope they
Did
I
you
I
seal
would
it
rather
with a
them
kiss?
I'd rather them get off the team now and then half-heartedly go through another few seasons.
No. And I'll agree. If your heart's not in the Colts,
Right. For the
then-
Colts.
then we don't need you on the team.
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And I get it. You're not going to get that from every player. You're not going to get that motivation like, hey, I'm going to die for the Colts. It's not going to be that way with every player. But you got to want to be here and want to practice and want to be a part of the team.
If you're just there to play with one guy,
this is a once in a lifetime chance to be on an NFL football
there's more
team.
than one guy on the field.
I know, like, get on the field and do your job and like it because it's easy and it's pays you millions of dollars. So
Yeah.
That's my opinion about it. So hopefully Funches is coming back. Who else is a big free agent?
So I mean,
Well,
what do we think of Chester Rogers? Because there's another wide receiver.
And
He's
his return game's not that bad.
yeah.
That's not saying much though. His return game's not
Statistically, it was actually really, really good. But
That's
that bad.
what
The
I
dude
mean.
called
Yeah.
It
fair
was
catch
more
all the
sarcasm.
time. I mean, he didn't drop
this year he did.
very many balls,
did.
but he was not an electric returner like Naeem Hines taking it. He
Right.
never
No,
did,
Naeem
he never
Hines
took it
has
to the
the
house.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this guy could be used, if Hines goes down.
Right.
You got to have someone in your back pocket.
Right.
What about
But
Zach Pascal?
I don't necessarily think he's
Yeah.
the ace in the hole.
So like a 1-year deal, would you do that?
I think I would throw him another year.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't have
I
a
think
problem with
I
that.
think it depends.
either.
I think we gotta see what we're pulling in from the draft and the free
Yeah,
agency.
That is
Yeah.
true.
like,
There's a better option.
and unfortunately, like, if you're thinking at it as a GM perspective, is this person better than him? Then we gotta go with him.
Right.
But if Chester Rogers is our best option as a Colt player, sure, give him one more year. Prove it. Prove you deserve that big boy contract.
Do you test the waters then? Do you wait till like free agents you can get some other guys or the draft?
Well,
Or do you sign him while you have dibs?
I don't know. That's a hard question.
Yeah.
That's a hard question.
I think you wait. I think you wait with a guy like Chester Rogers.
Yeah. I mean, he's not
Gonna kill you.
He's
if
not
he
putting
leaves.
up the big numbers, so
He's
it's
probably
not gonna hurt
gonna
you.
get signed
It's
right
not
away.
gonna hurt you.
Yeah. That's just my thinking though. Clayton
Oh,
Geathers.
Oh, Clayton Geathers.
Yeah.
I think we give him another year.
Another year.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with that. Our
I
think
safeties
we
keep-
always get
yeah.
injured.
Yeah.
I
Like,
think we
why would
keep
we-
doing it year by year.
Yeah. Why
I
not?
think that's a good way to do it.
Gathers is a good guy. He's a good captain of that defense.
Yeah, he's a good vet.
Yeah.
Good vet to have on the squad. What about Dontrell Inman, another wide receiver?
He's interesting.
Yeah.
Of course, with the drama, he had some drama coming back to the Colts. Quite a few tryouts. We'll see. I think you pass. He's a little old. He's 30, something. Well, I like signing him mid-season. I like that idea.
Okay. Okay.
We got Jabal Sheard.
Yeah, I agree with waiting with Dontrell.
What do you think
and
about Jabal Sheard?
Jabal Sheard? I think he's a good vet. I think he's a good guy. I'd give him a year, and I would see if he took it. But I wouldn't sign him anything over that, and I wouldn't overpay him. But he'd be a good veteran backup.
I don't think
If not a
we're
starter.
in any position to really sign anyone for more than a year at this point.
Yeah, a lot of year.
Especially
at
defensive
I
line
don't
and
think we're gonna
wide receiver.
try to lock anyone down for a long-term commitment.
Not any of our players, that's for sure.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Of course, besides Anthony Costanzo. Joe Haig, I think we got to re-sign him. He's a
Yeah.
offensive lineman.
No, he's a good piece to that
Backup.
offensive line. Huge piece to it. And he'll be great to bring back. Got to bring
him
him
a little
back.
deal.
I'd give him
Yeah.
3 years.
Jonathan Williams, fourth running back,
I would,
had a couple
Wait.
good games.
I would wait,
Yeah, I would keep him.
but I would try to keep him. I would
You
try
keep
to
him
keep
until
but I
you
would wait.
get something better.
I
Yeah.
keep him.
I mean, at the very least, he's your fourth.
I think he has great potential.
Yeah, I do think he is a solid running back. I
He
think
showed us some
the
flashes.
only reason why you'd wait
Yeah,
is because you don't want to overpay him. So I would wait and see if he would take a low ball money, but I would definitely try to bring him back. and definitely compete in this
Okay.
upcoming off season.
Moali Cox.
Got to bring him back.
I
he
think
up?
so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
got to bring him back.
Yep.
I would bring him back for at least 2 seasons, maybe 1. So it just depends on how much growth you see from this year. I think you try to lowball him, bring him back, and then see how good he does for a season, because that's huge. I mean, he could either be your number 2 or he's just gonna always be a number 3. And if he's always a number 3, let's look for a number 1 to replace him. So
yeah.
hopefully
I mean,
he can.
always, if
This
you
is
can
gonna be a
find
big
someone
off
better.
season for Mo. I really like him though. I think he's always had good hands and good block technique. So
All right, let's talk about some of our Pro Bowlers. We got Ryan Kelly, Quentin Nelson, and the Maniac heading to
the Maniac.
the Pro Bowl this year on some solid years. I think Ryan Kelly, this is his first time going to the Pro Bowl. So,
Finally, congrats,
No, that's
congrats,
awesome.
bro. Yeah, Ryan Kelly,
good job.
center.
I
I mean,
applaud you
well
all.
deserved. He is way better than what he gets credit for. So I'm glad he's getting to go to Pro Bowl.
Yeah, he's always pancaking somebody or hitting somebody in the mouth. Let's talk about some of our alternates. Brissett was an alternate. Doyle,
Ha.
Anthony Costanzo, Houston, Mack, and
Houston.
Luke Rhodes, our long snapper.
Oh, okay.
So pretty interesting to see Luke Rhodes, and that's cool. Houston on there, that is kind of a no-brainer. Surprised, almost kind of a snub, definitely a snub that he didn't get into the Pro Bowl. Mac, good year, great year, best year so far.
Yeah. Ian over here.
Yeah.
Loving on Marlon Mack.
Yeah. That's my
There's
guy.
your validation, man.
I mean,
He
dude,
might not have made it, but he's at least an alternate.
dude, that's some bull. I mean, come on, dude. Like, he should
No,
all
I
like
mean
Marlon
that.
Mack.
in the AFC.
But here's the thing.
Who's
the
better
thing.
than him in the
Ian.
AFC?
Ian.
Nick
Tell me.
Chubb,
Tell me.
Nick-
Okay, you got Derrick Henry.
Nick Chubb,
Ian.
That's it.
Leonard
Ian.
Fournette.
Come on, man.
Ian.
This guy's clutch. If you give him a
Just
passing
saying.
game,
Do you want an alternate or do you want a Pro Bowler?
dude, come on. That's not fair.
That's the only question I
We'll
have
see
for
if
you
a
right
good
now.
quarterback equals better runs.
Love for Marlon Mack aside, do you want a Pro Bowler or an alternate?
I want Marlon Mack. Give me Mack every day. Breakfast, lunch,
He goes
supper.
alternate. He goes with the alternate.
You're not going to persuade me on this one. He will have his career year next season. Mark my words.
You
guy's
gonna
a
put a
beast.
crave case down on that?
Let's bet 5.
You want to bet 5 crave cases
5. It's our first bet.
of 2020?
Come on.
5 crave cases.
Put 5 on it.
His best year, so he'd have
So
to
when
beat
should we
1,000
pay up on
yards,
this?
10 touchdowns.
I'm talking more yards and more. I'm talking more yards.
More yards and more touchdowns. Better year.
All right, more yards, more
I
touchdowns.
almost need more specifics.
More
More
than 1,000
that's all you get.
yards.
That's all you
more
get.
than 10 touchdowns.
more than his stats for yards, rushing yards, and for touchdowns.
Both of them have to be better.
Yep. Career year.
I'll shake on it.
2020 for Marlon Mack.
There it is.
There it is, the first crave case bet of 2020.
You're welcome. And you're gonna owe me.
Hey, your first piece of awareness for 2020, I just wanted to say, write the full year 2020.
Oh, thanks so much.
Because I was recently told that people
People
will
will-
write like checks
Checks.
that say like,
20.
2017.
Oh,
So now you can turn that 20 into an old check and cash someone's check or some
son
fake.
of a gun.
Yeah, so watch out for your check numbers. Always
Thanks
write
for
the
listening.
full date.
Thanks for listening, guys.
That's some good advice right there.
Yeah, a random piece of knowledge
Yeah.
for you people today.
We'll be back with
I
you
hope you
guys
enjoy it.
next week.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We appreciate you
Yeah.
for listening, and remember, hit us up at Bold Colts on Twitter.
Have a good one,
At
guys.
Bold Colts on
Leave
Twitter.
a comment.
Hit us with your questions, your concerns,
easy,
your
guys.
thoughts, maybe some topics of discussion for us to dive into on the next episode of the Bold Colts. Guys, it's been real.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Signing off. It's been Ian, Kenny, and Jeremy. Signing off. Thanks.
It's the Bold Colts.
Peace out.